Hello, hello. Welcome to the Head Marketing Podcast. I'm Mark Baker, the MD of Head Marketing, and I'm here with Pam Case. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about LinkedIn and how to get the most from it for your B2B marketing. So, Pam, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, well, I think that connecting people's always been my thing. And for years and years, I used to, as part of networking, teach people how to use LinkedIn because they would say, "Why are you getting so much business from it? Show me." And I was doing that, and I realised it takes quite a long time. There's a hell of a lot to it. And then one day someone said to me, "You should really be charging people to do this." And when the opportunity came to set up my own business, which is a natural thing, teach people how to do it and connect people. And so that's what I do now. And I'm doing what I'm good at and passionate about, I guess.
Definitely. I know we spoke last week. We were doing some prep for this, and we broke it down, and we're going to try and structure the podcast a little bit so as it flows and people can get something get something from it. It might be worth as well, if you're listening to this, if you've got a couple of minutes spare, perhaps grab a pen if you need to make notes or something. Just thinking really for our listeners from a user experience, because I know when I was talking to you on the phone and we were going through it, I was scrabbling around for a pen and trying to write down notes. So. No, definitely. So I know you break it down into sort of marketing, database, a search tool, and sort of a networking room. So
that's right.
If we start at the beginning then with marketing and the sort of the thought process on that, sort of what's your structure, your ideas on that then?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is that people will sometimes say to me, "I haven't got time to do this." And I think you have to have time to market your business. And those people might go to, say, the same networking group every week and sit with the same 20 or 30 people and work on looking for referrals for those people, which is great. But then LinkedIn has got over 650 million people on there. And why would you not spend time putting your business out there? So you have to market. It's a great marketing tool. I think social media's changed marketing into a two-way conversation as well. For
sure, definitely.
And all of those people are out there waiting for you to talk to them, talk with them, for them to get to know you. And you have to post. You have to write content. Because if you don't, your competitors are. And when somebody wants something, your product or service, you want to be the first one to come to mind. So you have to be present all the time.
Yeah, consistency is key, isn't it? I think that was the word we touched on was consistency and sort of showing up every day, so to speak.
Absolutely, definitely, because I remember when people used to say to me, "Do you know an architect? Because I need an extension to my house, or I want to build a house," and I didn't know any architects at all at that time in my life, but there was a name I used to give them, and I'd say it's this guy, that this is the one. I didn't really actually know him. It's just that his name was stuck up here because he was on LinkedIn every day.
Yeah.
So it's not just about the people who are on LinkedIn who will become your customers. It's those people who will actually refer business to you as well. I think the more people see your brand, the more they perceive it to be a big and quality brand. Whether that's right or wrong.
I think you're right. I think as well, I think that leads into sort of publishing sort of well optimized sort of content, because I know I spoke to your colleague Ian a while ago about sort of publishing content, and it sounds a strange thing to say, well optimized content for a social media. I mean, I understand that obviously, but explain what you mean by sort of well-optimized content and how that can help sort of with engagement and click-through rates and views, because I know we touched on views as well, didn't we, when we spoke last week?
Yeah. You see, if you are literally putting out adverts, okay,
Like
talking
sales
about
posts.
salesy posts, okay, nobody really wants to read them.
No.
You know, I mean, if you think about the last time you went on LinkedIn, when was the last time you stopped on somebody's salesy post and thought, oh, that's interesting? You don't. And so what you've got to do is to get lots and lots of people to view it, and to get lots of people to stop and look at it and view it and make comments on it. You've got to make it interesting, engaging, and ask people their opinion. People like to be asked their opinion. They don't want to be talked at.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that really, really helps because it's about you. Now, wherever you go, you get all sorts of people, business coaches and sales gurus and all of these people, and they say, people buy people. And I think, yeah, but it's not the full picture, really, is it? People buy people that they know and trust. And it does help if they like you.
Yeah, it's the sum of all parts, isn't it? It's not one.
But then, as I always say to people, if you can right now think about where your cereals are in your cupboard at home and mentally go and open that door and look at the brand, there's some mate of yours down the pub that you like a lot that sold that to you. It wasn't, was it? No. And it's the same with your dishwasher and all your other white goods. And that's about brand. You know, that is about trusting the brand, not just the person. So I think you've got two things to market through LinkedIn. You've got your brand and for your company, and you've got your personal brand. Who are you?
Yeah,
we'd like to get to know you.
And you put that on both on your personal page. We're talking about here, aren't we? We're not talking about a company page on LinkedIn. You're talking just for clarification for listeners. This is your personal page we're talking about.
If someone asks me, please, will you follow my company page? I basically just ignore it. Because what they're asking me to do is to sign up to see all their adverts.
Essentially, yeah.
And I don't really want to. I want to interact with the person behind the logo. I think that a company page makes you look professional. It's very SEO friendly. And it also means that you can get your company logo onto your personal page. But those companies that do get a lot of followers are the huge companies that people want to buy into. Sell into or get a job from them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not the SME.
No.
So let's work through your profile and let's get to know you. And how you can help us. And I think that's what sells for SMEs, not a bunch of adverts.
Definitely. I know as well. You could probably spend the whole podcast going through profiles and how to sort of optimize your profile. But that's, like I say, that's probably another podcast.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's a very, very important thing. And in my training workshops, we do spend time because the content you post will drive people to your profile. And once they are there, then it better sing off the page and sell to them. So we do have to optimize it and make it persuade people that you're a great person to do business with.
Definitely, we'll put some links as well in the YouTube video. We'll put some links to the training site and to the other site that we're gonna come to shortly. One other point I wanted to cover was sort of engagement, so interacting with other users on LinkedIn. What are your thoughts, tips, and advice on that, really?
Well, for goodness sake, first of all, it's got to be interesting content.
So not just commenting for commenting's sake.
No, do you know, there is actually somebody who tweets the worst things that they find on LinkedIn, and there's one of the things in it is where people say, I don't know, they might take a photograph of something on a table and just leave the car keys, and it shows that they're driving some sort of really big flash car, things like that. That's what made me laugh. But don't just tell us things. Facts tell, stories sell.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
So tell us some good stories, and tell us stories about some great customer services you've received. Show us that that's how you align yourself with those values. Or a story about how you helped a customer. You don't have to name them. What you might think about something, anything that might have been in the news. Show us who you are and what your values are.
Yeah, personal values.
But at the end of the post, ask everybody else what they think. Craft some good questions.
Yeah.
Get a two-way conversation going. Every time somebody comments on your post, a certain amount of their first-degree connections will also see that post.
Yeah.
And that's what you want.
Yeah, because that helps grow your network as well, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. It does, yeah. And we're all a bit like sheep, you see, as well. So if, for example, imagine you're walking down the high street and you see buskers, don't you? And you kind of walk past them and you kind of go... you just a quick look at them. That's it. And then, but just if there's a crowd around them, you are much more likely to at least crane your neck and slow down, or stop and go over and see what's going on.
The fear of missing out.
Yeah, right. So if people see lots of comments on your post, they are more likely to say, "Ooh, what's going on there? What's everybody talking about? I want to contribute to that." You see how that works?
Yeah.
So if you don't ask a question and get people engaging, you're on a loser.
It's definitely a powerful tool, the fear of missing out in marketing. It's not just sort of services and comments, but in products as well. If it's like the latest trend, that everyone wants to be part of it, don't they? We all want social acceptance, so to speak.
And the posts that you write don't. To give you a quick example.
Yeah.
Okay. My skin doesn't tan.
No, mine neither. This time of the year especially.
Okay, right. So you go away on holiday. I come back and I'm still white.
Brighter shade of red.
Yeah. But nevertheless, I've had a great time. I've, maybe ridden on elephants, sailed down rivers, eaten fantastic food with people in their own homes, and been to wonderful temples and mosques and all sorts of things. And someone will go, "Ew, where's your tan?" As if to say, "God, you couldn't have had a good holiday." You
can get your money.
And I actually wrote a post about this. And I got lots... There was a big spike, as there always is with a good post, in the number of people who came to view my profile. Now, on that particular one, a number of them were probably going to see just how white I actually was. But nevertheless, you also then get a big spike in connection requests. But on the back of that, which had nothing to do with my business, 3 people wrote to me and asked me for a quote because it had driven them to my profile. And that's where they'd seen what I do. And then they asked me for a quote for what I do. You see?
Yeah,
so it doesn't necessarily have to be about your business all the time.
No.
Just be an interesting person.
Yeah.
Talk about something that will draw people in and get them to talk. That's it.
We can all relate to holidays, can't we? So definitely.
Exactly.
I know, just quickly moving on, the next point we looked at was sort of a database on LinkedIn. Can you explain that further? What you mean by your online database?
Oh, okay. So I have actually met people who will say, I've employed a virtual assistant or a student to come in and spend a few hours taking all of the business cards collected over the years and typing them into a spreadsheet. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Well, because they're taking up too much space. I say, but how many of those people have now changed the mobile number, moved on to another job, etc.? And I just think maybe you have those little drawers that you've got them all filed in alphabetical order.
Antiquated, not.
And I might sort of get your card at a networking meeting, take it home, file it under M for Mark, B for Baker, or is it H marketing? And then in a few months' time, I can remember what you do, but I can't remember your first name, your surname, or the name of your company. Now, if I give you my LinkedIn profile instead, or as well as my card, you can search me by any keyword in any permutation of those things. But you can also see what I do, who's recommended me, and who I know that I might be able to introduce you to. And then if I change my details, I'm updating it for you.
Yeah.
So it's a database of everyone you've met that's ready-made.
Yeah.
Why would you keep the cards? I say to people, have you got cards? Oh, address drawer. I can start filing them. Well, okay. So for goodness sake, turn your contacts into people on your ready-made database.
What one thing about your database, and I'm just going to touch on it because it links slightly to what we're saying, and I learnt this at one of the LinkedIn online offline events that I come to. It wasn't the last one at Christmas, it was the one before. For listeners, some of you may know this, may not know it. It's the scanning of your QR code, and how each person has an individual one. So if you don't have your business card on you, but you still want to connect with people, rather than struggling to find them, you can just scan the QR code.
Yeah.
And
so much quicker than
great.
going back to the office and then having to take all the cards out and then send connection requests. And I'm not saying do away with business cards because I don't want to upset any printers.
they have the place, don't they? Yeah.
Well, you can make notes on somebody's card. And also, what if your phone battery's gone?
Yeah.
Or the internet's down?
Yeah.
But it is. And I wrote a post about that scanning facility recently. And I thought, no, it's such a basic thing everyone knows. And then I thought, every time we do an event, there are people who don't know how to do it. So I wrote the post anyway. I could not believe how many people were thanking me, were resharing the post. Yeah. And in the end, I think it's up to over 45,000 views now. That's good, isn't it? It shows the sort of power. People don't know though, and I worked in marketing for years, and I didn't know. I was like,
crikey, this is great. It's
Honestly, try showing someone. They love it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like you've given them the best Christmas present.
I used it at the last meeting and tried to pass it off as my own. I had to cop for it though and say Pam taught me.
The more people that know all these tricks and tips, the better for all of us.
Definitely. Now, if we're looking on to the next sort of point that we wanted to look at was a sort of search tool and search facility on LinkedIn. What are your thoughts and advice and bits and bobs on that?
You can find anything you want on LinkedIn. And over the years, I have kept the business cards of the people who aren't on there. And it's probably about 5 millimeters high. So it just shows how many people are on there.
Yeah.
And you can find all of those people who are your target market and turn them into connections. And then they're more likely to see your posts. I mean, LinkedIn's ranked the number 1 social media platform for business-to-business sales. But hardly anyone likes being sold to through it. So the key is in gathering your target market around you by finding them through the search facility, connecting with them, and adding value to them. Send them some things that are useful, but don't sell to them.
Yeah.
And by all means, make your content consistent and interesting, and then they will get to know what you do, and then the inbound leads come.
So in terms of the search tool, you use Sales Navigator. I know we spoke on that. What are the sort of extras on that? Because I believe that's a paid for service rather than just because the basic tool is free, is it not?
It will depend on your business whether it's because it's going to be about £68 a month, but it will give you more search criteria. So you will then be able to search perhaps on the company size, the number of employees, the turnover, and also. Now, make no mistake, the results are quite phenomenal. You can end up with a few million people. If you put in accountant, you'll see what will happen. Then you have to use the filters to narrow this down. So you will have to say, well, actually, I only want them in the United Kingdom. And you'll still have too many.
Yeah, for sure.
So you then might say, well, I actually only want to see the ones in my city. And even then, can you imagine how many accountants are in Liverpool, for example?
Yeah, a lot.
Right? But Sales Navigator will tell you how many of them are actually active LinkedIn users. So you can concentrate your efforts on connecting with.
So how active they are on the platform and how likely they are to see your posts and engagement, etc. Yeah.
So you don't waste lots of time connecting with a couple of thousand accountants who really set up a LinkedIn profile and didn't bother with it again.
Yeah, yeah.
So and also Sales Navigator shows you a different feed. It shows you only the posts that have been put out by your target market to allow you to go and interact with them.
Oh, okay. So it gives you the better chance of potentially converting.
Otherwise, you might not see them.
Yeah.
Because they might only be putting out adverts, see. And they're not going to be boosted because nobody will be interacting on them. Which comes back to what I said earlier.
Yeah, about creating value and yeah. I know I think we've touched on, I don't know if it's been privately or publicly, we've touched on sort of publishing posts and then there's articles, isn't there? Because that was one thing I think we should perhaps cover is the difference between articles, post, and then obviously videos are videos. What are your thoughts on the different types of publishing on LinkedIn?
Okay, well, an article won't travel as far in terms of views. And can I just say, while we're talking about that there are some people who will say to you that the number of views you get on posts doesn't matter.
Yeah, we've touched on that.
Yeah. Now, it's not the full picture, but it's part of the picture, and of course it matters. If the number of views don't matter, then why are advertising slots on television much, much more expensive when there are more people viewing? A percentage of people who are watching your post, they may not ever engage with them, but they will eventually come out of the woodwork and become your clients. Now, there will be a percentage of them. And 80% of nothing is nothing. Yeah. So, of course, views matter because this is your marketing. You know, you wouldn't create a fantastic advertising poster and then cover it up with a curtain, would you? I mean, you'd say, well, I want lots of people to see that. So,
yeah.
So an article won't travel as far, it won't get as many views, but it's good to have one. It's good to have one on your, at least one, and give something away and give us some real insights. People are drawn to doing business with people who give something away, and anyway, it positions you as a thought leader, and it shows you they're an expert at what you do.
Definitely. I know I've published a few posts, and what I tend to do, just as advice to any listeners, if you've got any long tail content that's say 1,500, 2,000 words plus, if you use it as blogs on your own site, you can always reuse that content afterwards, as long as your site has got a timestamp on it and you get the credit for it being on your own website first. You can always reuse that content, whether that be video or written. And I think that's just an important point to sort of interject with and say. It's the good thing with content is if you reuse it and add that value and add that depth. I know we've used it a few times in articles that I've shared on my profile.
I think you've got to be careful though with posts. You mentioned videos and pictures.
Yeah, that was the next point to look at. Yeah,
because on Twitter and Facebook, for example, the thing that your content does a lot better if it has videos and pictures on. You agree with that?
Yeah.
And Instagram, well, that's all about pictures.
Yeah.
But with LinkedIn, it's the opposite. And I have had people say to me that somebody advised them to put a photograph on absolutely everything that they do. No, because you don't get as many views on LinkedIn posts which have a picture or a video on. Now, I'm not saying don't do them because it's great to vary content.
Yeah.
But if you're wondering why, and the other thing is a link. If you put a link to any other site, be it your own blog or your own website or anything else, it will strangle the reach of your post.
Oh, okay.
It works the opposite way with LinkedIn. So if you've written a blog, you're going to get more coverage if you paraphrase it into the number of characters in it.
Yeah. So and you then keep it within the written sort of, that makes sense. Now, what about PDFs, posting PDFs as convert? Because I wanted to touch on that because I learned this, I'll refer to it as a trick, so correct me if I'm wrong.
So I call them all tricks and tips.
I learned this, that if you have it as long tail content and you've got it as say a Word document and you convert that into a say 6-page PDF, that can, I would say, avoid the algorithm, but it will help its reach. What are your thoughts on PDFs?
All of my best posts, 45,000 plus views, etc., have got multi-page PDF documents on them. For some reason, at the moment, they are the darling of LinkedIn. It favours them. But I've seen people try to do this, and they've made the slides so wordy that no one will be bothered to read them. And also, you've got to remember that this is over 70% now, I think, of people actually access LinkedIn through the phone, not the desktop screen. And so it's a lot smaller again, isn't it?
Yes,
Right.
Zoom in.
So unless you're going to sort of be making it bigger, getting out a magnifying glass, you're not going to read that. So I think less is more. So, and this is again where if you want to put pictures, embed them into a document post. This is great for photographers.
Yes.
Yeah, because and also, give people a reason to slide through the carousel of, and if you're going to put any words on, very few. It's a nice big font, please.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm just going to look at it and say,
it's too much, isn't it?
It's too much. Yeah.
Definitely.
So, but they are, real favourites. But to make them engaging.
I have seen some funny ones. I think they're the ones I engage with. I don't know if it's a schoolboy sense of humour, but they're always the ones that catch my attention. It's probably because it can be a bit. It's very business-like on LinkedIn. So the things that you see that are funny stand out, and I think that actually leads on quite nicely onto the sort of next point I wanted to cover, which was the networking room, and that term. I know we spoke last Thursday. What are your thoughts on LinkedIn as a networking room and
It is, isn't it? I mean, it's people. It's about people, and it's about engaging with people. Okay. Now, I'm not saying, and I will never say, that this will take away face-to-face networking, but it certainly supplements it. And there are so many people that I really feel I know, even though I've not met them. I went down to Birmingham for a conference, and there was a woman in a queue, and I said, "Oh my God, and it was her, and she threw her arms around me and said, "How great is it? We've never met before." It was through LinkedIn.
But you had a connection.
Yeah, and we always help each other out with things, and so this networking room is always open.
Yeah.
You can walk in and out at a time to suit you. It doesn't cost anything. You don't have to get in your car and drive.
That's true.
You can do this at 1 o'clock if you like. Yeah. And it's the biggest networking room on the planet. You don't end up in a corner pigeonholed by somebody who wants to drone on about their business and never say to you, "How can I help you?"
Yeah.
So there's no awkward conversations to get out of.
It's a networking room on your terms, isn't it? As you only communicate with people that you want to communicate with, and vice versa. So.
It is, of course it is. And, when you go into a networking room, you've got to go and talk to people, and you've got to find out who they might know that they can introduce you to. Well, LinkedIn comes with a whole list of people that those people will know. And you can use the messaging system to introduce people. I do that I think yesterday I did about 7 for people.
I had one today, actually. Yeah, an introduction. It was a law firm I'm trying to do business with, and their director introduced me to their marketing manager and connected her in the message and said connect with her, and it's a great tool, isn't it?
You know what it's like? We're British, aren't we? So I mean, if I wanted to phone you up because someone had said I'd like an introduction to Mark Baker, you know how it would go. Hi Mark, how are you? I'm fine, thanks, how are you? Did you get over the flu? Yeah. Wife's got it now. And not only that, I had to take the dog to the vet last week. And this goes on. You have a nice skiing holiday. And we do this because we're British and we're nice, and it's all part of the whole pantomime. And it takes time.
Yeah.
And then you might not be there when I ring, or you might forget that you said you'll call this person. So if I create a 3-way conversation on LinkedIn to introduce you both, I've done the whole introduction in a few seconds. We've all got a written kind of bit of proof that the referral has been done.
Yeah.
But what I would say first, a caveat on that, I would probably share their profile with you first and say, is it okay if I introduce?
Yeah.
Because for all I know, last week you could have had a brawl outside a nightclub with them. No, I mean, seriously, I don't know what history you've got.
Sure.
So once you clear it, it's done and it's quick. It's so much better.
It's certainly quicker. Quicker. Yeah. So when you put these four parts together that we've looked at, I suppose it's about relationship building to sort of then lead and build that relationship into sales, isn't it? And there is that process involved, and it takes time. It's not an overnight.
No, it's not. And also, I feel really strongly about this as well. Every time I do a LinkedIn workshop, there will be a number of people who, and I make no mistake, they'll fold their arms first and lean backwards in a very standoffish way. I think I know where you're going with this. But and then they'll say to me, I only connect with people I've met. Oh, I don't understand that. I think that every person, if they're not a potential customer, they are bringing other people into your network that you can then search. You can, even the basic unpaid version will allow you to see and connect with all your second and third degree connections. So if you connect to me, you then have 9,000 second degree connections that you can search and connect with. And if I comment on your post, a percentage of them will see your post. So why would you not connect with anyone? I don't, and even if it's someone in a different country and you don't export, well, you can bet your bottom dollar that if they've sent you a connection request, they've connected to lots of other people in this country.
Yeah.
If someone becomes a pest, you can always disconnect.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's important to build up your network as much as you can for those two reasons.
So what are your thoughts on connections and then direct messaging? I wanted to know, because there's two chains of thoughts with this. Either, you know, when you connect with someone, do you go straight into selling, or
no?
That's my chain of thought. I just wanted I knew your opinion. I was just more sharing it, sharing it for the listeners.
There are companies who will do this for you. You can outsource to them, and they will send lots of connection requests and then hit people up with a sales message. Right? Yeah. Now, there might be a very small percentage of those people who do say yes, okay? But unfortunately, LinkedIn is getting swamped with them. Any given day, any day, you can go on and you can find a piece of content by someone who is just railing against the practice, and hundreds of other people are jumping in on it, adding their two penneth, saying, oh, I hate it too. And you will find that they will say, I delete these people, I block them, I report them. Now, this doesn't do your kudos any good with LinkedIn, does it?
No.
Or with the wider network. So I think is it worth it for the small amount of people who say yes?
No, I agree with you, because I believe it or not, I got one on Christmas Day, a direct message to buy something.
Well, that's keen.
I was like, you're working. But it was probably automated and all.
Yes, yeah. And if LinkedIn does find out that you're using automated software, they can close your account down.
Yeah.
So, and you can always tell.
You can, can't you?
Always tell.
Yeah. Especially if it's not got your name on it or it's spelled wrong or something.
Yeah, or someone else's name.
Even better.
Happens. Yeah.
So it's just as we look to come to a close, we wanted to talk a little bit about the networking events and sort of what you do with the LinkedIn online, offline. Tell us a bit about that and how that works for people that perhaps don't know.
All right, I teamed up with Ian Denny, and both of us have run large, successful networks in Merseyside before. And Ian's an amazing copywriter, and we both knew a lot about LinkedIn, and I've been running LinkedIn workshops, and we put it all together. Because what we realised is LinkedIn is a big place. And I said earlier that it won't replace face-to-face networking, physically meeting people. So we realised that if we took all the local people that are on LinkedIn and gave them a place to network away from the international noise, that might be good.
Yeah.
And so we created WhatsApp groups. And we thought that if we then created a space for them all to meet up, that would be the final bit of the jigsaw, and then they would really start to pass business to each other. How wrong we were. Because people actually started to help each other and pass business to each other in the WhatsApp groups alone. And then we started to meet up in the centre of Liverpool, and now we have over 100 people coming to those meetings.
And they're great, those meetings. They're once a month, aren't they? Usually towards the end of the month.
Yeah. And they're sort of semi-structured. And we even have something that helps nervous networkers. So if you are nervous and afraid of a big room full of people, we get there early and we'll pair you up with somebody and give you a cheat sheet of great networking questions, and that breaks the ice and eases you in. And then we have a speaker for just 10 minutes, and then we have a topic which we put onto LinkedIn and into the WhatsApp groups so that everybody can take out their phones and go back online.
And that sort of captures people that perhaps couldn't attend the meeting for whatever. Yeah.
So everybody gets to see each other's opinion when we've had a round table discussion. And it highlights the person who's done the 10-minute talk as well. So everybody, the number of times people say to me, I just love the structure.
It is good. It is good. Yeah.
And we've got over 100 people for our next one.
And as well, those WhatsApp groups, just for anyone that's not familiar, correct me if I'm wrong, there's 4 of them now.
4 up to now.
Yeah, and you've got about 150-ish members in each group, yeah.
Yeah, that's not to say that 150 people talk in them.
No.
Some of them are very quiet.
Yeah.
And we do tell people to mute the groups and not to try and catch up with everything that's in there.
I hop in and out of it depending on how busy I am with clients' work and things.
You wouldn't walk into a party, the pub, or a networking group half an hour later than everyone else and go around and say to everyone, you've got to tell me absolutely everything you've said before I got here. And so the groups are the same. Also, sometimes they get a bit wild. Lots of banter and jokes. But you know what? People do business with people they like.
It's building relationships, though.
It's certainly. Some people don't get that. But believe me, and there are no cliques. There are just a bunch of people who, if you join in, will welcome you in. They are. We are blessed with some great people.
There are some good groups in it.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. So it's just as we close up now. Is there any? Let's have three quick recommendations on the spot points that you recommend for LinkedIn. What's your 3 points, if you like, that you should focus on if you're new to LinkedIn and you're trying to get the most out of it?
Oh, right. Accept all connection requests. Turn up.
So post consistently.
Yeah. And optimize your profile. And in that optimize your profile, the most important things you can do is use that banner across the top. It's your advertising space. Please put your photograph on and not your logo. We want to see the person behind the logo.
Yeah.
And underneath your name, make it clear what you actually do for us. That is so important. Managing director at ABC Industries doesn't mean anything to anyone.
Because that's the thing that follows you around when you comment on other people's posts, and every time you interact, that small, I'll call it a blurb, that small blurb.
Yeah, strapline if you like.
That's it, yeah.
That's your paw print. Wherever you go, that's all we will see unless we visit your profile. So spend time getting that right.
Okay, great stuff, great advice. Now, what I'll do as well, just for listeners in the podcast and in the blog, and when the vlog goes onto YouTube, we'll put all the links in as well, so you can go to our respective sites and check it out and get more information. I've been Mark Baker. This is Pam Case on the Head Marketing Podcast. Thanks for listening, and thanks for coming, Pam. Really appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure.
Thanks.